Joe presents Liquid Football, sponsored by Paddy Power.
Hello, welcome to Liquid Football on Joe together with Paddy Power. It's the show that takes you inside the dressing room and puts you in the boots of the players. Joining me this week, Wayne Bridge. You've not had chilli again this week, have you?
No, I'm all right.
Just making sure you're cooling your mouth down there. Carlton Cole is here, and it's a very warm welcome to Matthew Upson making his debut. It's all right so far, isn't it?
Thank you for making me feel welcome.
3x West Ham.
There you go.
That's true. That is true.
All played in the same team,
mate. We got relegated.
All played in the same team.
Oh yeah, the relegation season. 3 England players as well. Relegated.
My God, Keith. You love
It's a great record.
We'll get into that. We will talk West Ham. We will. We will. But obviously, there is only one place to start. Look, loads has been done on Liverpool, Manchester City, on decisions, on VAR, on the application of the rules, on all kinds of things. Every week we say this, we don't want to get into a VAR discussion because it's not that interesting. So, quickly, was it a penalty, the Trent Alexander-Arnold handball? Bernardo Silva onto Trent Alexander-Arnold. For you, Carlton, yes or no?
Yes, it was a handball.
And a penalty, would you give in, if it was you?
Yes.
Okay, Matt?
I'm going no.
Because you're a defender?
No, I just don't think it was.
Okay.
You know, if I was a ref, I would have given it when I watched it. When I watched the replay, I would have said no. But watching it full speed, I would have given a penalty.
Okay, so you'd have expected that to be overturned if you'd given it, and then gone
Not
to
really,
VAR.
I wouldn't want VAR. So I would just give a penalty and just got a bit of abuse from the fans.
You'd have just given
Matt, you made
want.
a great comment earlier about VAR. What did you say?
I can't remember.
You can't remember?
Oh, about that it's not perfect.
Yeah.
It's not a perfect
football
game.
isn't
A perfect game, so why try and make it perfect?
VAR can't be perfect.
No.
It's not possible.
There's too much stuff that's open to interpretation, isn't there? And that's where you're going to get... We argued beforehand about decisions, and now we argue about VAR like it's VAR's issue, when actually it's about the application of the law.
Well, it's not FIFA 20, is it? It's not FIFA 20. So I think this VAR thing needs to be scrapped, and that's me saying it out and boldly.
Okay. I know you've never been a fan, have you?
No, kids, I don't condone bad language, but I haven't heard the referee is a wanker all season. I used to hear every week.
They swear by VAR instead.
Yeah, VAR's a wanker. It don't have the same ring to it, does it?
No, that's not what they say.
And they're not there in person. They're hiding.
Exactly, they're hiding behind the scenes.
But they do. They say fuck VAR. That's what they say.
Well, you can't really get a song out of it as well. You can't really get a song.
It's not too bad. It certainly gets a bit of volume.
There's too much scrutiny with it. It's too detailed. Offside especially.
Yeah. Well, and then there is that
margins.
margin for error, which is about 13 and a bit centimetres.
No, the human eye can't detect the hair's breadth of offside, Carlton.
Well, look. I was saying to you earlier, about people with big heads. You know what I mean? If you got a big head and the VAR catches your head offside, then your body's still onside. But what happens there? Is it just down to the armpit? Or?
It's where you can score from. It can be offside. Any part of your body you can score from. So technically you could score from your shoulder or your armpit, but you couldn't score from any further down your arm.
But
so that
if I had a wide head...
Then
I'll still be offside.
That's just nature against you.
To be fair, you'd have a few goals scratched off from offside. The VAR was around when you were playing.
Nobes was talking about Nobes earlier because I had him on my head. His nose would be offside a lot. Just look that way, he's offside, wouldn't he? You know what I mean?
I think you're answering your own question that you asked.
Sorry,
in the Paddy
Nobes,
Power
mate.
challenge. We'll get to that a bit later on as well. But look, if we look at all those arguments, and they are kind of, it feels like they've been done to death already, and it's only Monday as we're recording this. Do they cover the questions over Pep's team selection? Because that's the other question that was raised during commentary of the match yesterday, is if you have Benjamin Mendy and if you have Cancelo, who is a right back but can play left back, and they're £100 million combined transfer fee. I mean, he said Mendy isn't fit enough to play 2 games in a week, and he started against Atalanta. So, what do we think? Did he go with the right approach?
Well, if that is the case, then he obviously didn't want Mendy to play against Liverpool, because he wouldn't have started him against Atlanta. He would have left him out and played him against Liverpool. So you can assume that he's not having him to the level of where he feels either he's ready to play against Liverpool or whether he likes him enough to put him in his team in big games. Cancelo, I think, is a really good player. So that one surprised me, because I think Angelino doesn't look defensively like that's his mindset at all. I think he's very good going forward, but you're going to be asked questions surely at Anfield defensively when you're playing against Salah and Firmino and Mane. That's surely the biggest question you want a fullback to answer away from home at Anfield.
Is it a specialist position then? Do you want a specialist player in there?
Pretty specialist, aren't they? Mendy, like if you're up against Mendy, he's strong, he's quick. Do you know what I mean? So it is a strange one that if he can only play 2 games, why has he played that game and not this game?
He obviously hasn't trusted him.
I wouldn't.
Can he?
He doesn't trust him. Like, to come in at a big game like
his character then, not him as a player, just his character, or
maybe he just doesn't trust him fitness wise as well. Like, he might be saying he's fit, and you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. You know what I mean? There could be a load of stuff, but I think that decision was because he didn't trust him to do a job.
You're also thinking, well, you're trying to get away with something there, and also your centre back partnership isn't tip top, and you've got Otamendi
on the bench.
But again, I'd find it hard to play Otamendi in that game. There's something
he hasn't
about
been great. Yeah, he hasn't been great. I think he can always make a mistake.
Yeah.
I don't.
Would you want to play against him?
Yeah, I'll definitely have a go. But not saying I'll do anything against him, but I'll definitely have a go. 100%. Well, I'm not sure if I'll be able to do anything about him. But I'm just saying, for Otamendi, I'd rather play against him than some of these defenders at the moment, because he looks like a real scapegoat.
He's a bit rash, isn't he? I think you could draw him into doing something.
I've got to word myself. I've got to word this properly, because I don't like to throw other players under the bus. You know what I mean? But I'd say he's definitely up there with someone I would rather play against at the moment, because he's a bit shaky.
Do you think that, like Matt's talking about, the way you would draw him in to making
draw him into what
to making errors? So how would you do that? Not necessarily him, but how would you as a striker do that?
I wouldn't be able to draw him into anything really, but if I was somebody with great technical ability, I'll draw him into my first touch, and then I'll spin him and go in behind, you know what I mean? Because he's a bit, what should I say, gullible.
I think you could draw him into like a physical battle, which I think you'd fancy yourself maybe in winning a bit, you know what I mean? Like, I think he likes to get tight, doesn't he? He likes to be be quite dominant, and
I reckon you
take
could
a
get
gamble.
under his skin as well a little bit.
You reckon?
I reckon you could, yeah.
You lot rate me, innit?
It's been a few years.
If only you had that belief.
You're going to leave here 10 feet tall.
Yeah, that's true. Thanks, guys.
But having said that, I mean, look, we always say this when we're talking about Manchester City. You're looking for tiny margins with those two teams who were challenging for the title last season. Manchester City in fourth. Now Leicester in second place, 8 points off Liverpool at the top of the table. One of the other things that was mentioned in the studio, Mourinho was talking about it. Arsene Wenger talked about it on television when he was covering it. He said it's one of the few places that are left in the Premier League where you can shake someone's hand when you go to take a corner, and then. But I'm not sure it was that friendly an atmosphere. but this idea that crowds can play a part, that they can have an influence on the game. I mean, certainly there's some of that's marketing, that you know, they want supporters to feel like they can make a real contribution. But I think Anfield people talk about, there's a few managers have come away and talked about it. Upton Park. The old Upton Park must have been like that. Selhurst Park, Goodison, places like that where you feel that the crowd is on top of you. Does it make a difference?
I think it does, definitely. Especially, as I said, the weaker-minded footballers that do get intimidated with any sort of adversity thrown at them. So I would say it does make a difference.
Definitely affected the West Ham for a bit. I mean, you'd have to be Mr. Tickle to shake someone's hand from the London Stadium off the touchline, wouldn't you? I mean, that's a 25-metre stretch.
If you're a young kid making your debut and you're at Upson Park and then the new stadium, like, it's a totally different game.
Yeah.
Totally different.
And the hostility, the chicken run.
The chicken run, the abuse.
I mean, everyone's taking a throw in over there. Yeah. just got it, didn't they?
Yeah, it was really. But yeah, there are other places as well. Obviously, Leicester, you got like Turf Moor, mate. That's not really like even the changing rooms.
Yeah,
for the away changing rooms. Wow, like you don't really want to be going in there.
So what is it? What difference does it make if you, especially? I'm just thinking about they talk about atmospheres at certain grounds and that. In what ways does it affect people? In what ways can it have a bearing on the outcome?
I honestly think that the older grounds, like if you can renovate an older, like what Liverpool have done, and make it into the modern day, it maintains a bit of like a gritty edge. I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's like a bit atmospheric. It's just gritty. And the newer stadiums, you lose a little bit. That becomes maybe a bit more sterile and very nice and grand and amazing, but it just doesn't have quite the same feel for me.
Being a homegrown player, I think you're kind of used to it a little bit. So I don't think it affects you as much. But I think the foreign players that come in, I think it would probably affect them more. Like we talked earlier about, if you're sat on a bus, you could look around the bus and think, he ain't going to be able to cope with it. He might not fancy today.
Yeah, definitely.
It's the foreign players that come in, I think, might find it harder to deal with.
Well, like when the London Stadium now, like fantastic facilities in the change room, the home change rooms, exactly like the away change room. It's got jacuzzi and everything in there, mate. Like, if you're an away player,
you've never gone out on the pitch.
I'd have been in a jacuzzi like that, mate, chilling. So, but yeah. The London Stadium's a really nice place to play.
Yeah, sounds it.
Home and away. You know what I mean?
And then next time we go there, I'm going to have a little sitting there with a little sports drink with a little umbrella in the corner of it in a jacuzzi. That's a perfect way to do it. But those grounds and those crowds will have an effect on certain players. And the thing is, the magnitude of the occasion and the feeling that this was going to be, if not, it's not going to be the deciding moment when it happens in November, but it's certainly a decisive moment in terms of the title. And you could see in Pep Guardiola, when there's the meme that's doing the rounds now where he's twice and he's sort of railing at the sky and then he's like sarcastically going over to the referees at the end saying, "Oh, great job," and whatever. It's just like, I don't know about you guys, but I like seeing a manager who looks like he cares, like it matters to him, rather than somebody who looks sort of completely in control all the way through it.
I agree.
Yeah, he's definitely got a lot of passion, isn't he?
Yeah,
that's what you're supposed to have.
There's a bit of a balance, but you'd far rather see the animation and the emotion in a manager. But in those situations, how can you not? Kind of, I can't imagine what that must feel like as a manager. As a player, you're kind of caught up in the game, but if you're on the sideline watching, it must be a completely different experience to how it would affect you. It's
interesting with the decisions as well, because I've seen a couple of people who were at the game sort of tweeting about coming out and saying we didn't realise until we watched the highlights that there were so many controversial moments, because the game seemed to keep. I think maybe because things weren't overturned. I think maybe that's possibly why. But when you've got access to footage, or you've got people who can see the footage relaying information to you, that's when it can start to get explosive.
Well, as we said, VAR is supposed to make the game better, and I think in Pep's eyes it's not.
Yeah.
And that's why he was so animated on the weekend, because it was really like there's some things you got to just get and give, and he was just obviously saying this is not helping my situation.
You've just secretly dragged us back into the VAR chat.
Yeah, it's always a VAR chat. VAR
just slid us back.
I think fans want to see passion more than anything, because it's like, if you're a manager, say if you're at the bottom end and a manager's just like down, doesn't get up, doesn't shout and scream. Any man that doesn't shout and scream, I think you lose the fans as well.
Yeah.
But you want to see the passion from the manager.
What's one of the main reasons why Liverpool fans love Jurgen Klopp?
Yeah.
It's his animation, his personality, how he it's how he interacts with the supporters.
I think he can get a bit too much. I think the Italians can take it a little bit too far sometimes.
But it's
it's
a huge factor in his popularity, isn't it? The fact that he's so connected and animated with the supporters. It's a positive thing.
You saw the cameraman trying to get him to do the sort of What was that called? What's that
The
called?
fist punch.
The fist punch, yeah.
The fist
And the
punch.
crowd was trying to...
It's good to
Pards was
watch.
animated, wasn't he?
He's had quite a few
yeah.
rounds.
He's had a
Pards
few.
has.
Yeah, he had the dance.
Head around. Didn't he headbutt David Meyer as well?
Oh, mate, he done all sorts on the sideline, mate.
And there was the round with
Mourinho.
Pellegrini as well.
Yeah.
Mourinho, the knee slide.
And he fought with Wenger as well.
Oh, mate.
Yeah, Pards did.
Yeah.
Pards had it.
Wenger didn't shake his hand.
Yeah.
That was a funny scenario.
Have you ever seen someone like just lose it on the pitch? Just absolutely, you look at them and you think that they're not in control anymore. They've actually gone now.
I wouldn't say that far on the pitch. In the dressing room,
Yeah.
is different.
Yeah.
I think when you're on the pitch, you always, mind you, we're saying that obviously there was a fight.
Oh, yeah.
With
Kieran Dyer and Lee Bowyer.
That's right.
I was on the pitch for that.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
you have seen people lose it. Yeah.
I've been on the pitch for a couple of brawls, if you want to call them that. Couple of handbags, but
Yeah, there's a common thread here, isn't there?
yeah, but I think I do like it. I like a little bit of passion being shown, and but
So if you're on the pitch,
but I don't even know
It's
what
when it
that
comes
was
from
about.
nothing. I think that, from what I can remember, and I think Kieran's talked about it,
Yeah.
I think Bowyer was basically moaning. One of them was moaning about not getting the ball. And in the end, Kieran went, I'm not passing to you because you're shit. And then that's it, he lost
Fair
it.
enough. Fair
I
enough.
think, a lot of the time, I think I've been shouted at by players before, and I kind of like, if I've done something wrong, it's fine. It's what it is. I don't really take anything to
You're quite
heart.
a passive person, aren't you?
It takes me a while to lose it. But like, it's hard. Like I know Marino shouted me a lot before in the middle of a game, and I kind of just take it, and that's the way he is. Sometimes I think it's uncalled for, but
To be
it's not going
fair,
to get you anywhere to retaliate.
If you shouted at me, yeah, I would probably cave in because like his eyes when he goes mad, he's got an alter ego, mate. You.
To be fair, I've seen you grip someone up. I
Yeah,
can't
he has
remember.
gripped someone up, mate.
I had a stint at West
Look, he
Ham.
was all quiet now. Yeah.
I did
I'm
not
joking,
see that in you. I did not see that in you. Tell us about this side of your personality.
Listen,
He loves
talk me about
throwing
the
people
eyes.
under the
he's
bus.
got some crazy
Tell me
eyes,
about
bro.
the eyes.
Your
What are you
eyes, he looks at you like
He's
that.
getting
like-
aggressive now.
Yeah, it's got some crazy eyes.
Every now and then you lose a bit of the red mist comes over.
I don't think you can
It
go
does.
through a career with not losing it or having an argument with someone.
Yeah,
You can't.
of course not.
Definitely in the dressing room.
Yeah.
Dressing room
On
is
the
where
pitch,
it
I think
mainly.
you let things
Yeah.
slide.
Yeah,
That's the main element where it all comes out because you're not in the spot. You're not being watched.
Yeah.
So then the real gripe that you have that sometimes, I mean, if they played that out on the pitch, then you
Yeah.
saw the end result
Yeah.
and it's not pretty.
Yeah.
But I think in the
But-
change room they said the lads wanted them to have it out at the end.
Yeah,
and I think in the end, soon as if you have a fight, I'll lay both of you out or something like that. That's what I remember hearing that.
but sometimes you need
Dyer
it.
and Bowyer now.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
apparently Graham Souness said, well, if you're going to fight and you're going to be men, you might as well do it properly.
Yeah.
I think they
well,
declined
from what
the
I heard, the
invitation.
players
Yeah.
told them we might as well have it
Yeah.
out now.
Yeah,
And then I
right,
think
it's the
he
players.
said he would knock both of them out, and then they just sat there like little school kids probably.
But sometimes it can be a good thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes
No.
you need to clear that.
Yeah,
that air.
but not on the pitch though.
No, not on the pitch.
Yeah, because we had another
So,
one, Ricardo Fuller.
That was on the pitch.
That was on the pitch. I think just scored a goal, and then Ricardo came from nowhere, moaning at who was it again?
Andy Griffin?
Yeah, Andy
It was
Griffin.
Andy Griffin.
So he was moaning at him, and then that got a bit out of hand. And I think he got sent off or something like, or a yellow card or something like that. But you
Yeah,
don't
got
want to
sent
see
off.
two teammates having a go
Yeah.
at each other. Do you know what I mean?
But if it's on the opposition team,
Still
when
though,
if
It's
you're on-
just
if
good
you're on
fun,
the
I think,
pitch,
if it's the opposing team.
Yeah,
You're
you're
having a
laughing.
laugh.
If you're on the pitch, and
Get them
you Kieran Dyer and Lee Bowyer going at each other, how you enjoying that, aren't you?
Yeah, you're having a look, thinking, go on then, swing
Yeah.
one then, swing. And then it's just handbags at the end of the day.
Back to Psycho Matt, because I'm quite enjoying this.
I just brushed that
Frank the
one off
Tank,
quite nicely.
Frank the Tank, yeah, he knows it. That's his alter ego,
What
Frank the
is it?
Tank.
What is it that would make you angry? I love this.
I don't think it'd be one thing that would make you angry. I think it'd be a build-up
No,
thing.
yeah.
I don't think it'd be one thing.
Let's dig into this.
Oh, Carlton would throw
Perhaps it's
anyone
just
under
with
the bus,
Colney.
by the way.
Perhaps it's just with Colton.
Yeah.
Perhaps it would just be like, come on, Colton.
Yeah, but you give them eyes, so you don't want to get on his bad side. Like them eyes,
Could be
mate.
quite wide-eyed.
Yeah,
Right.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Make your point.
it's like a
in
yap stand,
in a
yap
firm
stand
way.
sort of eyes.
But
Yeah.
always
Scary.
controlled, Carlton. No.
Yeah, always always got dignity
but
and
would deliver
a hard blow.
a truth,
Yeah.
maybe.
What's the worst manager had in terms of losing it? Have you got
What's
any?
yours?
Strachan, I think.
Oh, I can
Could
imagine.
he be quite fiery? He looked quite fiery.
But he'd be fiery in the change room, but it was during the game as well. Do you know, like when you used to watch it, it used to be. It's obviously funny sometimes because this little thing running around on the touchline, like little Tasmanian devil. Obviously, it wasn't going so well, but sometimes it's hard not to laugh.
Yeah.
But in the changing room, like things were just flying everywhere, and like he could lose it quite a lot. And with Saints, there's a lot of ups and downs, so you got to see a lot of it, I guess.
For us, Sam Allardyce, oh mate, he used to have some tear-ups. Well, not tear-ups, but he just used to just to lose his rag and in the change rooms, and then see like how he chews his chewing gum. I used to get a bit more faster and vicious, thinking he's going to chew off his tongue.
So that's how you know it was
I
coming.
was like, mate, he's chewing that chewing gum vigorously. We might watch out, he's in trouble.
It must have been more than that though.
Yeah.
More than just chewing his gum ferociously.
Mate, I'll leave that in the change room. Like.
Nigel Pearson would be on the edge. He was a manager that you could see, or perhaps we need to get into. You could see that
he's got a nice face though. He's all right.
In the right moment, he would let someone
Really?
know. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, Nigel Pearson would. He was very direct and to the point, and you could see it building, and then.
But then the thing is, you have all that emotion, and then you're sort of trying to keep a lid on it while you're on the pitch. But there'll be things there'll be things you can let go, and there'll be things that build up as the match goes on, and then you come off and it all. It comes out in the dressing room, and then someone comes in and says, "Can you just come and speak to the media for a bit and just come and have a quick?" Like you must to go from that level of emotion to trying to keep a lid on it must be hard.
I was quite good at saying no to media. To be honest.
You just didn't do it.
Yeah, I just didn't do it. Yeah.
But from the manager's point, like we touched earlier about how Pep must have done that, because when he shook the hands and said, "Thank you very much." I think I know what he was meaning or how he was portraying, but then to actually then go and do a long detailed interview about it, you've got to have some restraint.
Got to commend him.
You've really got to kind of like put a lid on it and try and bottle that emotion and be clinical. Professional.
Title race then. Liverpool 5-2 on now with Paddy Power to win the title. Man City at 9-4. Chelsea and Leicester at 40-1, and yet Chelsea and Leicester point better off than Manchester City. Are City still Liverpool's main title rivals?
I mean, I think you'd have to say yes in terms of they're the current champions. They've got the strength in depth. They've got the experience. They've got the manager.
They've got the port to come back.
Yeah, and they've got the ability to strengthen the team if they need to whenever needs to be done in order to get better. So you'd have to say they are, but Chelsea are having a real kind of gone under the radar a little bit, haven't they, in terms of expectation? And now people are starting to look at them and realise and think, wow, this is a really good, well-balanced group of players. And
can they spend in January?
I'm not sure yet.
They're still under the
they're still trying to get that overturned, though, aren't they?
Yeah.
So
but as things stand,
Well, that will be a big thing if they can get some players in the January window, because
what do you think they need then?
I was going to say, having said that, the ability not to be able to spend has actually been their strength this season.
Yeah, you're right, but then there's a dip in form. You do need some cover. As I said, Giroud's not even getting a game at the moment because they're playing so well. So he'd want to move out. Then you get someone that's capable in. Do you know what I mean? And just give him an extra boost and push the team onto a next level. And you got like. I always said that they should go for Nathan Aka. Yeah. Because I think he's brilliant, and I think they're missing him at the moment at the back, because they're leaking a lot of goals, to be fair. Yeah. They're not like stood at the back, are they?
No,
they're scoring more than they're conceding.
They've got better. Yeah. I think like the last probably 5 or 6 matches, they've started to get better. But at the start of the season, it was definitely an area. Yeah. But they've got better all over. Yeah. The whole team, the whole group just got stronger. Better individual performances.
Leicester have got the strongest defence in the league. In second place at the moment. I mean, as much as winning the league title in that season was an extraordinary achievement, to be able to go back and... Well, could they?
I know too many Leicester fans, they can't. I know we talk about the teams that can challenge, but I can't see past Liverpool the way they're playing.
Okay.
like I said, you can never write off City. You know, they done all right, but their defence isn't great. But
you have to say at the moment, though, on current, if you look at just this season, 11, 12 games, where they're at, how they've played, you have to say that they're going to challenge at the moment.
Oh, they're going to challenge.
They're playing so well.
They play amazing football. They're going to challenge.
And they've got players that have won the Premier League.
Yeah.
So
it's not over. No chance.
I'd like to see them. I'd like to see them put a strong challenge up, but I just don't. Was it 8 points behind? I don't think they're going to make that up with Liverpool. Liverpool are just winning game by game by game.
You know, Leicester got a chance to get Liverpool. Chelsea got a chance to live. People have a chance.
Mate. It's all Liverpool, mate.
They do have a chance to beat them, so it isn't done yet. Long way to go.
We'll see.
We'll look again after Christmas.
Yeah.
And then we'll look again, what sort of March time, and then if we're really patient, we can wait till May. I did say we'd talk about West Ham. It's not necessarily the most positive of topics, though, because we're going to talk about Roberto. He scored an own goal in the 3-1 defeat at Burnley. At fault for one of the goals in the game against Newcastle. The Athletic have a report that says that a number of first-team players have lost confidence in his ability. Are you surprised?
Go on, Carlton.
Look, for me, I think it's really important to have a good goalkeeper and a confident goalkeeper behind your defence, because you should know.
I think it's been massively highlighted by the fact that Fabianski has been the player of the season.
Yeah.
Last season.
Yeah.
He certainly was, and he started well this season. So he's a really informed goalkeeper, probably one of the best performing goalkeepers in the league at the moment and last season. So it just highlights his mistakes more, really. And I'm not defending that. They are glaring errors, aren't they? So it's a problem for West Ham, because once that little bit of belief goes from the group around him, you start to play your game differently, don't you?
Yeah, I remember being at Chelsea, and you do play a little bit differently. We had Peter Cech in goal, who's obviously amazing, and then I remember Hilario had to come in, and there was definitely doubt around the players. No disrespect to him, but he wasn't a Peter Cech, and I think he might have let in one or two simple goals, and obviously we weren't used to letting goals in. I think every player was a bit like, oh my God. But then he did do all right sometimes. I remember Champions League, he kept us in the game. He kept us in Champions League, but it was like the players celebrating much with him. It was relief. We can't believe we've done that. They obviously didn't say that, but that's what it felt like looking from the outside. And I felt a little bit sorry for him. I felt like he maybe felt that as well, and it doesn't do nothing for the keeper's confidence.
Do you think that made you stronger as a group, though, having done that? Probably.
Maybe, yeah. I think it made him feel better, definitely, because I think maybe he sensed a little bit of the doubt, and he went on to do quite well as well. But we felt it as players, I think, definitely.
So what do you do there, especially with a goalkeeper? Because if you've got someone who's not playing well or is out of form, you can cover for them maybe a bit more if they're an outfield player. But a goalkeeper, there's nothing you can do. There's nowhere for them to hide at all. Yeah, so do you try and boost their confidence, or try and kind of?
I wouldn't be able to deal with that. If someone was trying to raise my confidence, that I'd know it was sympathy. I was like, I wouldn't be able to. I would know. Right, I know you think I'm shit. Right? I don't need it. Leave me alone. And I'm going to
let me do this on my own.
I think
I'll just sink by myself.
Yeah, I think he probably had enough belief in himself. I like to think.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think if you fuss them too much, I think they'd sense that doubt. I think anyway.
Yeah, but also then the flip side of that is they're going along, they're playing really badly, they're maybe letting in a few goals that they should save. They know everybody's thinking it, and nobody says anything. That's worse, surely.
But the thing is, as a goalkeeper, it's so mental, isn't it? It's such a position, because you're not called in. It's not like you're in the flow of the game and you can right, I've made that mistake, right, I've got another one. You might make a mistake and then not do anything of much note for 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's about, you have to help players around you.
talk about Hilary, by the way. By the way, he did go on to make some really important saves and make really
it's too late now.
important
You've said
games.
what you said.
No, I did mention it. I did mention it earlier. I was just saying, like, it was one of them that I don't think anyone really got around him. So, like,
that reverse line.
I really want to chuck him under the bus, but I can't. I really want to. The Pep comment is coming out.
Oh, no, cool.
If he carries on, by the way. I've forgotten what I was saying now.
Well, why have you gone back to hilarious,
but with him, it was like, I don't think anyone actually put his arm around him.
Yeah.
You know, he carried on and he did play really well in the end. But I'm basically saying it is hard if you don't have confidence in your goalie. Because with Pete in goal, like, if someone had a shot from 18 yards, we're like, yeah, he's got that. It's easy.
But it's highlighted
From
more
how many
goalkeeper.
yards?
But
18, whatever, mate. So you know what I mean? Like, seriously, like, Pep, I'm going to see you saying Pep every time you come at me.
We'll put that in the extras afterwards.
It's the same for every position, though. It's highlighted more at goalkeeper, but you will adapt your game.
Yeah.
If I'm used to playing with Bridge or he's used to playing with me, we know each other's game. One of them's out for a period of time. Somebody else will come in. They won't be the same, but it's a matter of knowing what he's good at. He might not be as good at certain things, or he might be better at other things. You've got to adapt, and as a team, you've got to adapt to it.
Time now for the Paddy Power Challenge. Luis Garcia won last week. He put the bet on Liverpool to beat Manchester City, so he gets the winnings, although I think we all know that Wayne was the real winner last week. This week, it's Who Am I? So, names on heads.
That was hard enough.
Right. Okay, so, Carlton, you ask the first question. If you get it right, you get another one.
Am I black?
No.
Okay.
Matt.
Am I English?
Yes.
You're having an R in there. You are English.
Yes. No. It's funnier. It's funnier. It's funnier.
Kelly's good at this game. Yeah. Am I retired?
No, definitely not. No.
Look at you. Please,
Am I a current Premier League player?
No.
No.
Okay.
Oh.
Don't try my own tricks back on me.
Am I a striker?
No.
Do I play for a club in London?
Yes.
Okay. Do I play for Arsenal?
No.
Okay. No.
Do I play for a London club? What's so funny?
No.
No.
Oh my God.
What's funny is that every time you speak, you have to raise your eyebrows. You can see from under.
I'm all right. I feel like I can see.
Am I a striker?
No. Am I good looking?
Go on.
Kelly, you go. Kelly, this is yours, man. This is yours.
I'm not going to bow to stereotyping. I think it should be you two.
Am I good looking? Am I hot?
We don't know your taste.
Oh, no.
That's open to opinion.
Depends on your taste.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's definitely a butters, isn't it? It's definitely a butters.
Oh, no.
So who's answering that then?
Who's answering it? I need a yes or a no.
What would you give him out of 10?
Not careful, though. It's not like I'm some oil painting. Do you know what I mean?
What are you saying? What are you giving me, geez?
I would tell you what I would say. I would say
I'm
he's not
this.
one of the players that you would think of as a pretty boy.
Kelly, we're going yes or no's. It's yes
So
or no.
he's a butters.
Is there a grey area?
There's no grey area. It's a yes or a no. It's like, it's not even is he or he's all right. Yeah.
Wait, he ain't no David Beckham, he ain't no Ian Dowie, right?
Oh,
There you go.
Oh, it's not no Ian Dowie. He's not. He let that one. All right, then
Right.
cool. All right, so
Okay.
he's butters.
Sorry, Ian.
Am I a defender?
No.
No. Okay.
Am I a defender?
No.
No.
Am I a
I'm
defender?
so bad
Yes.
at this. What?
You are a defender.
Okay. Am I still working in football?
Yes.
Yes.
Am I known for being a captain?
Yes.
Yes.
Did I win Premier League titles, plural?
No.
No.
Am I a top 6 player?
No.
No.
What?
No.
Am I a midfield player?
No.
No. Am I English?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Am I in the current England team?
Yes.
Yes.
What, the squad
be
now?
specific.
Squad, in
yes.
the squad. Am I midfielder?
Yeah.
Do I play for Liverpool?
No. Am I a coach?
No. Do I play for a London club?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Am I left-footed?
No.
I don't know.
That's not the one.
You're not left-footed. Do I play for Chelsea?
Yes, you do.
Am I Tammy Abraham?
Yeah.
Yes, you are. Well done.
There you go.
Right, come on then. We're going to play it out
so
between
we'll
you two
play it
then.
out.
Yeah,
Oh,
come
my
on then.
God, this is going to take long. Let's
Do
go.
I play for Man City?
No.
No.
Or did I play for Liverpool?
Yes.
Yes.
Was I a one-club player?
Oh, God, here we go. Yes.
Yes.
Really? Am I going to get it?
Yeah, you're going to get it.
I hope so.
You did say defender.
Yeah.
Am I Jamie Carragher?
Yeah. Do I play for Arsenal?
No.
No.
Do I wear a blue kit?
Yes.
Yes.
Do I play for Leicester?
Yes.
Madison?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well done, Vicky.
You play for West Ham?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mark Noble?
Yes.
Yay.
Oh, for blood. No, it's poor from me, that.
So, Matt, you are the winner. You get £250 of Paddy Power's money to the charity of your choice and a £250 bet. What are you going to bet on?
I'm going to bet on Russia to beat Belgium at 12-5.
Oh. And the money will go where?
To the Royal British Legion.
Perfect. This is Liquid Football on Joe, together with Paddy Power. I'm Kelly Cates, and alongside me, Carlton Cole, Matt Upson and Wayne Bridge. If you like what you see and hear, then please leave a nice message on YouTube or on iTunes. Now, here's psychologist John Amici with news of another great show from Joe.
My day job is helping businesses thrive through disruption. This show is not about business. It's about people who go from nothing, a seed of an idea, something that everybody thinks is completely impossible, and build it into this massive business. There are 1,000 different ways to be a huge success. One of the most interesting things that we're learning is that how people are failing is almost as important as how they succeed. In fact, it's integral. It's business. Pioneers is having really honest conversations with people, talking about their business, their objectives, their purpose, whether they're just out to make a ton of money and then quit, or whether they really want to change the world. Pioneers on Joe. Listen to it, download it, watch it. I had nothing profound to say.
You've been watching Pioneers, together with Open Money. Manage it, save it, invest it.
Episode 7 of Pioneers with John Amici is available on Thursday. You can watch it on YouTube or download it from wherever you get your podcast from usually. Don't forget to check out Joe's other shows as well. TKO with Carl Frampton and House of Rugby with James Haskell. We talked about Leicester as well. They're into second after that 2-0 win against Arsenal. They do look really good. If you were a player who was given a choice of moving, because there's a few clubs who aren't where we would have predicted they would be after 12 games. If you look at the traditional sort of big 6 teams, and you say, right, Liverpool and Manchester City challenging for the title, you'd expect Chelsea, because of the transfer or lack of transfer activity, people thought they might step back, having changed their manager. Leicester obviously doing really well under Brendan Rodgers as well in second place. And then you've got like Spurs and Manchester United falling short of where their fans would want to see them this season. So if you look at those teams, somebody comes in for you and says, we want you to come and play at Leicester, Arsenal, Man United and Tottenham. Where are you going?
No, I'm definitely not going Tottenham. Mate, I won't be able to go home. For me, I would say, listen, I'd go to Leicester at the moment because they're up and coming team. For me, that's for me personally, and I think that they've got a great future. I think they've got such a good unit, like the whole people that run the club, the owners, they're like fantastic, and they look after the city as well. You just want to be a part of that and grow with it. I'm not sure about you lot, but for me, it's Leicester.
But you've got the Arsenal connection as well. Can you be objective
you played at both,
about
haven't
it?
you?
Yeah.
You played
That's
at
a hard decision.
It's almost an impossible decision, isn't it? And you have different things that you'd base it on as a player, wouldn't you? I mean, and at different stages of your career. So it's quite difficult. Brought up earlier about location, but to some people that's a factor. How well that team's doing at that moment. Then you've got the history of the club, the stature of the club. Some people might have an emotional attachment or really like a certain, you know what I mean? There's all these different things that come into the mix, but
so if you were advising someone then, because it's hard to take your own personal kind of facts out. If you've got a young player, say you've got someone who's like coming, say 23, 24, this is going to be a big move for them where they want to go and they want to start challenging for silverware. Would you advise them to go to Leicester, Arsenal, Tottenham, Man United?
Where they're going to get more game time, surely.
And also, I think game time, and also, where are you going to get better as a player? Where are you going to develop? And that a lot of that comes down to the manager. So you look at Brendan Rodgers. I think he's a good example of a manager that, if you apply yourself properly, can make you better.
His training's really good as well.
Can coach you to be a better player. Pep has done that a lot and made players better. And I think as a young player especially, that is really important. It's a massive tick in the box, regardless of stature or location or money or whatever. Like that's a huge big plus point. That's advice I would give to a young player.
So where would you go?
So I just like where would you go, Bridgie?
He's still not answered it.
You know what, right? If you based it on just football and how the team's doing, and if I was a young player, I think you'd get more game time at Leicester, and you'd still progress as a player.
Would you find it easier getting in Leicester's team at the moment or Arsenal's?
You'd probably find it easier in Arsenal's, you think.
Get into Arsenal's team.
I think it'd be more enjoyable at Leicester. I've trained under Brendan. I think his training's great, and I think they'd be having a good time. If you went to Arsenal, I think it'd be a hard time, but then you could look at the fact that you're going to go there and hopefully the team's going to improve because you're there. And Arsenal's history, if I had to pick two, me personally, I would go Arsenal.
Mate.
Because I think of the history and making them a better team, the easy choice, I think, football at the moment is Leicester.
Could I just say, Arsenal have some of the moaniest fans ever, for me.
Yeah.
They even made it, like, was it Arsenal TV?
But can you imagine how much they'd love you?
You imagine how much them just moaning.
How much they'd love you if you went there and you improved the team. I know fans can be fickle. They might love you for the time being. If you have one, then they hate
really
you, but that's football in general.
But I think at the moment it's hard for an Arsenal fan because it's disappointing for them. They're used to being, close to the top of the tree, and at the moment, I think there's a lot of
moaning when you was up there as well, though.
Because
when you was up there, you're still moaning.
Yeah.
It was still moaning. Made a channel, geez. Like, made it trendy.
Moaning channel.
Yeah, moaning channel that made it trendy.
It's a safe choice is Leicester in terms of the manager and the structure and how the team are at the moment. But I think I'd still pick Arsenal.
And where do Spurs and Man United fit into that then?
I just couldn't go Spurs after being at Chelsea, I don't think. Yeah.
So you're both ruling out Spurs. Man United came in though.
I've been at City, so I don't think I'd pick Man United.
Listen,
you're very limited.
Supposed to be not you personally, but say you were a young
player.
If you were advising a young player,
it's the same as Arsenal. The history of the club. They're two clubs that if they're on your CV, it's great.
Yeah, that's another one you said earlier.
That's the bit that I find interesting is if you look at Leicester and like Carlton saying there's something really exciting happening there, like you're saying about Brendan Rodgers' training methods. You go and you'd enjoy it. It feels like there's a really great togetherness amongst the squad. It looks as though they're building something, and then you look at maybe the bigger name clubs like Arsenal and Manchester United, where it feels like they're maybe a little bit further. They are looking to get back to where they were, but they maybe feel a step back in the process.
There'll be more pressure on you. Yeah. And there's definitely there'll be more pressure on both them clubs, Arsenal and United.
Yeah. Definitely,
because they're gonna have to improve while you're there.
But how much would the weight of the name of the club? That's what I'm saying. You weigh up Leicester, and as you know, they've won the Premier League title in recent years. I'm not sort of saying Leicester, because this is the kind of thing that people get annoyed about. I'm not saying Leicester aren't a big club. I'm just saying if you're looking at,
we all agree.
I know, but you know what I mean. It's the kind of thing people get really touchy about.
I know what you mean.
But I don't mean that. I'm just saying what you're looking at is a club where the foundations are there, and if you just took the reputations out of the equation, Leicester would be your choice, wouldn't it? But it's how much do the names of those clubs and
influence.
No, but I honestly think the weight of the name has a far bigger impact when you're going to that club when it's on a high.
Yeah.
Because imagine stepping into those great teams of those clubs. Yeah. That's when the expectation of has he got the mentality to cope with this?
Yeah.
The pressure. But at the moment, if we to speak about Arsenal and Manchester United especially, the teams are quite a way off being those teams. That they're not in comparison to to Liverpool and Manchester City and even Leicester at the moment of how well they're playing, they're a little bit off that. So perhaps the weight of that pressure wouldn't be as much, and it might be a good time to go and play for those clubs if that was the thing that you were concerned about.
Have you picked a team yet?
I'll pick Arsenal.
Arsenal. He's gone safe.
I did think that. We didn't bring Chelsea into that just because they can't at the moment. You couldn't go to Chelsea at the moment. Did you see Cristiano Ronaldo storming off when he was substituted? Dybala came on for him and scored the winner. But even before that had happened, Cristiano Ronaldo not happy. Is he out of order?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Well,
you got to stay and support your team.
He can't be not out of order because he's Cristiano Ronaldo.
No.
If any other player done it, they would have got absolutely slated.
Yeah. You got to stay and support your team. Look, so you might not have a good game. You might not agree with the manager's decisions, but you don't just storm off and go home. It's just not on, I don't think. And I think the players even lose respect for you a little bit as well.
I wouldn't have expected that from him either, to be honest.
No, he's better than that.
I'd expect it from someone like Mario Balotelli, but I wouldn't expect it from him.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's out of character, I'd say.
Surprised?
Something might be going on at home, you don't know.
Yeah.
He might have left the...
Where are you going with this?
He might have left the cooker on or something. You never know. He might have to get back quicker. Something. Do you know what I mean? He might have left the cooker on or something boiling at home. Like, you need to get home quick.
You know somebody's going to pick up on this and it's going to be clickbait.
He left the cooker on. That's brilliant.
I've done it before, mate. Full blast, geez.
Got yourself sent off so you could go back and check. Look, he is Cristiano Ronaldo, and he is and always has been a sort of pivotal figure in clubs. He gets substituted a couple of times. Dybala comes on. It won't have helped, you would imagine, that Dybala scored the winner in this game after coming on.
That hurts.
Yeah, would it?
Yeah, it does hurt. Like, even when I used to get like substituted, and then the other striker goes on and scores, it's like, you ain't done your job. You've got someone else that can do it. So yeah, that hurts as well. So it's going to be really feeling it.
I haven't seen the actual full performances, so it's hard to know whether he feels it's justified or not.
What did Capello say?
Even if it isn't justified, you still got to. You have a duty, I think, to maintain almost a bit of quality in your behaviour and just go, look, I'm not happy, but I'll still show that I'm supportive, and I might then have my disagreement behind closed doors and let you know what I think. But I think it's hard to just storm off. I don't think it's setting the right example.
Has he come out and said it? He might come out and say sorry. Don't know.
What did Capello say?
He would.
At the time of going to press,
What's the stat Capello said?
Capello said he hasn't dribbled past anyone in 3 years. He was doing television.
We had him as England man.
Great stat that is, isn't it?
Well, because he was sort of backing Sarri, wasn't he, and sort of saying, "Well, that's the." But none of you have ever done it. Then you've never stormed off in a huff, having been substituted. Have you ever seen anyone do it?
Everyone will have the hump.
Yeah, I've seen players come off the pitch and not shake the manager's hands, but it's not. That's just emotions right there and then, and gets forgotten about, but not go all the way home. I only heard about Sol Campbell going home. I think it was a game against West Ham, against Arsenal at Highbury, and then apparently he had a bad game, and I think Bobby Zamora sent him home or something like that. Sorry, Sol.
I've been dragged.
I know you're watching this, but that was the rumour.
Half time at West Brom, but I couldn't really go home. Do you know what I mean? It was a team bus. Yeah. I think if I was at home, I probably could have thought I'm going home.
I'm going to Uber it.
But I was up in West Brom, so I just stayed. But I think if I was at home, I could have got in my car and just gone home.
The more instances I've seen like that have been before the game. Either disappointments of not being on the bench or not being in the team. I think they're the more volatile one where it can go south. Like people's reaction, the team gets unveiled in the dressing room or something, and somebody's not in it that thinks they should be in it or on the bench. They're the ones that I think can be more fiery. Yeah.
Also, so sometimes it's happened to me, so I know this a lot. Like he's kind of, if you're not in the squad, you kind of feel like a spare part, especially if you're away from home, and you're just there moping around, like kicking bottles, and just looking at the floor. Feeling sorry for yourself, you know what I mean? So you don't really want people to see you like that. But when you've got no choice, as you didn't have no choice up at West Brom, like, you just got to just stick around, you know what I mean, and then go in the stands and just freeze yourself off instead of running about. And then on top of that, then you got to do some running afterwards. You got to do that's the worst. Oh my God!
If you got to come down and actually put kit on.
You got to put kit on, and then go on the pitch and run about.
Were you there when Kesman was there?
No, well, I was.
Yeah, he had a big row with Marino.
I was on loan
in the change room afterwards. And again, that was him getting brought off.
Yeah.
And he was vocal about it, but he was going through a hard time at the time. He wasn't like Ronaldo where he was playing every week. He was just going through a hard time. That was emotions. He probably wanted out, hated the manager. They went back and forward a little bit.
Yeah.
It's difficult. It's emotion at the end of the day, and you want to play football.
We'll let you go now. None of you have been substituted here. We're just going to bring this to a close in a nice way. That is it for this episode of Liquid Football on Joe, together with Paddy Power. Thanks very much to Wayne Bridge, to Matt Upson and to Carlton Cole. For Liquid Football's back on Monday. You can download the podcast or you can watch us on YouTube. Leave us a nice review if you like what you hear. We've also got a Facebook page. If you search for Liquid Football, you can join in the chat on there. And remember, you can check out our other shows as well. House of Rugby with James Haskell, TKO with Carl Frampton, and Pioneers with John Amici. For now, though, thanks for listening.
You've been watching Liquid Football on Joe, sponsored by Paddy Power.